Obama to announce executive action on immigration Thursday in primetime speech. What's going on, guys? Make it electric. It is Thursday, the 20th of November, 2014. If you don't know, Obama is going to give an address this evening regarding immigration. I'll put this link from Fox News. You know, Republicans are all up in arms, rah, 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 going on in D.C. as if they're all not part of the same club. What's interesting about this, and for those of you who have followed my work on Jericho and Operation Blackjack, I am issuing a Blackjack alert, because as you know, in the first episode of Jericho, the president was giving a primetime speech when the nukes went off. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm always vigilant when the president gives a primetime speech. What's interesting is, I got a link from The Hill, networks will not air Obama's speech. So we have our president who's going to give a speech prime time, and the major networks are not going to cover it. I find that very suspect, and only raises my suspicions about a false flag even higher. We got from the Weekly Standard, Obama to sign executive amnesty on Friday in Vegas. So he's going to give a speech tonight, and then he's going to go to Vegas and sign whatever it is he's going to sign. You know, I got to give a shout out to a Sacramento sheriff, calls for immigration reform in a video message to President Obama. This came out November 18 from Fox 40 Sacramento. If you haven't seen this sheriff's address to Obama, I tweeted it out, said it on Facebook. You really want to pull it up and have a listen. You know, I applaud this sheriff for having the balls to at least say something. It's not often that we have people in government that actually stand up. You know, he addresses, first of all, in my opinion, it's too little, too late. Although I give him kudos for standing up. You know, he addresses the amnesty issue. He also addresses the border issue, telling Obama that we need to secure our borders. Now, what people need to do, especially law enforcement, military members, is ask why we have unsecured borders in the first place. You know, there's a much bigger picture going on in the background that a lot of people refuse to look at. But, us crazy conspiracy people, we're proven right several times in recent days. I'll put a link, and I would really like the sheriff's reaction to the New World Order declared 2014 alert, Obama's New America. This is all about a New World Order. This is about an agenda. This is about the North American Union. The Trans-Pacific Partnership, the Security and Prosperity Partnership. Google all of these terms. It's all mainstream. It's all out there. We don't have a secure southern border because that's not the agenda. What did we get out of 9/11? We got the Department of Homeland Security. Now, you would think, all these years later, if the Department of Homeland Security was on the side of the people, we would have a secure border. But see, that's not the agenda. Anyway, I'll put a link to this speech from Joe Biden telling the Air Force Academy to lead in shaping a new world order. This also goes in to talk about the border issue and, the fact that military and police have been training with law enforcement across this country, all training together in metropolitan cities. That's all part of the agenda. They are ready to do something big. They've trained for it for months, years. I'm going to put a link. I got some Ferguson news. Keep that in mind. Keep the martial law, military training with police stuff in mind. We've seen a lot of it over just the past few years. There's a picture that went out on Twitter last night from Ferguson. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. You're damn right it does, you see, because it's not just about Ferguson. As I said in my last video, this is a much bigger problem. This is the New World Order we're dealing with and the lockdown. Again, why is the DHS not concerned about our southern border? Because they're too busy doing the job that they were created to do, enslave the American people. I would also ask this sheriff why. We got a story here. New Texas bill would ban indefinite detention. Okay, good thing people are paying attention to. But what people don't realize, the fact that we have to have a conversation about indefinite detention in the first place is a problem. People don't want to look at that, though. It's like everyone wants to live in denial. And I would also ask, this come out, police brutality. You got to see this 7.5-minute video if you haven't seen it. This is what the police force is coming in America. They arrest a guy for How do you get arrested for resisting arrest? Because he wouldn't show ID, because he hasn't broken any laws. 8-minute video, you can clearly hear him screaming to the officers many, many times, what am I being arrested for? What did I do wrong? What law did I break? It's becoming an issue of just show us your papers, slave. It truly is. You really want to check that video out. Please spread it around. Now, militarization, another thing that's going on. We got from the Gateway Pundit, military deploys chemical, biological, nuclear, and high-yield explosive response vehicles to St. Louis. Again, raising my suspicion about Operation Blackjack. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Anybody find that kind of weird? Why do they need that kind of equipment? From Fox News, we got Muslim groups seek to co-opt Ferguson protests, says Watchdog Group. Will these protests across the country, when they kick off, be infiltrated? You're damn right they will. In fact, you got ISIS, the new boogeyman, again raising my suspicion about Operation Blackjack. It's just eerie the way all of this is connecting back to that scenario. Al Sharpton, Action Network, released list of national Mike Brown protests. All of these are going to be infiltrated with agent provocateurs. Are they getting ready to pull the plug on America? Is this what it's going to be? They're going to announce Amnesty and Mike Brown at the same time? We got a whirlwind here, people. Speaking of, I got one more here. KKK threatens to shoot people wearing gay anonymous mask in Ferguson, to throw that on the top of the cake. Anyway, give me your thoughts on all this. To that sheriff, definitely watch his video if you haven't seen it, but I would ask, can you see the bigger picture going on in the background? Anybody? Why has the military been training with police departments across this country in metropolitan areas? Anybody? In preparation for this Mike Brown deal that's going to go haywire in America? You got to think about these things. It's all connected, in my opinion. Tell me your thoughts, please. Please rate this video. Please pass it around. Make people aware of this information. Crazy, crazy times, people. You guys take care. Stay safe. I will see you on the next one.